There were some who found me difficult and hostile, but they did me wrong. Little did they know of the reason why I seemed that way. It wasn't my choice to shrink from society, and I had to live alone. Like someone who'd been banished.
By the time his Ninth Symphony was performed that night in Vienna, Ludwig van Beethoven was profoundly deaf. Almost 2 centuries later, this music remains as potent, obsessive, and bewilderingly brilliant as ever. It's even more remarkable when you remember that its composer was unable to hear.
For me, the struggle that comes through Beethoven's music is what makes it so compelling. And struggle was always part of his life. Just as with Shakespeare, you come to Beethoven to engage with the big questions that stir nations, that stir humanity itself. The struggle against deafness, the struggle for personal freedom on every level, the determination to be an artist on his own terms. All this I feel acutely in his music. Music which, against the odds, articulates the indomitable power of the human spirit. His music has changed lives. It's changed history. And with him, you might say, music grew up.
Beethoven was born into a family of court musicians in the German city of Bonn. From an early age, he'd learned to fend for himself.
Look at him. What's he so miserable for?
Your mother's dead, isn't she?
No, she's not.
Well, she must be. Look at the state of you.
Ludwig's mother wasn't dead. At least, not then. I don't think his mother meant to neglect them. It wasn't as if they were poor. Certainly not when we were children. But I don't remember it being exactly a happy home.
Keep the tempo even.
A gifted pianist, Beethoven had inherited the talents of his late grandfather, a renowned musician who'd been director of music at the court. Unlike young Ludwig, his father Johann, a tenor and music teacher, had failed to live up to the family name.
Right, that's enough. Stop. Enough. That's enough. How many times do I have to tell you just play the notes in the exercise?
But, Papa, it's so beautiful.
It's silly trash. Stop.
Grandfather would have loved it.
I said enough!
We all hated the way his father treated him. But he was always boasting about his son. Not in front of him, of course, but outside the family home. "Oh, my Ludwig," he used to say. "In time, he'll become a great man in the world, you'll see." It was bewildering for Ludwig. He never knew what kind of mood his father would be in. And more, he withdrew into himself.
It was clear that Beethoven's talent as a musician might provide an escape from his father. And when he got his first job, aged only 13, as deputy court organist, Beethoven's future suddenly seemed brighter. He began to study the work of Bach, Mozart and Haydn. And it's around this time you can see first evidence of his gift for composing.
Since I was 12, my muse has often whispered to me, "Try and write down the harmonies in your soul." Only 12 years old, I thought, and how would I look as a composer? And what would men experienced in the arts say about it? I was almost shy. But my muse wished it, I obeyed and wrote.
This is a work of astonishing sophistication for such a young composer. In the previous 20 years, sonatas had become the principal benchmark by which piano music was judged, so it says a lot for the young Beethoven's ambition that he was prepared to attempt this form so early on.
Every element of his court costume. It was quite something. Sea green frock coat, green knee breeches with buckles, stockings of black or white silk, shoes with black bow knots, the vest bound with real gold cord, hair groomed, hat under left arm, sword with a silver belt. It was really quite something. Talking about him. A worthy successor to Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. My brother. I don't know. I mean, how could I tell? All I know is that his talent was a blessing for our family. Our grandfather's inheritance had almost run out.